Assalamu alaikum, children. How are you all? Hope you are all very safe and healthy at your home. This is your Evs teacher. And last session, we discussed about some of the landforms like mountains, glaciers, valley, canyon, plateau, plain. In last class, we discussed the last landform as a plain. I told in last session you are having examples of plains as eastern coastal plain and western coastal plain, but now today we are going to know about another plain, that is Indo-Gangetic plain. There is a major fertile region to the south of Himalayas, and this is formed due to the soil deposits led by the rivers Indus, Ganga, Yamuna, and Brahmaputra. And in this Indo-Gangetic plain, a variety of crops will grow. So now let us move to another landform in today's session. What you are seeing here, children? Yes, it is desert. What do you mean by a desert? A desert is an area of barren land with extremely low rainfall. If you see, children, in our India, we are having the Great Indian Desert, and this desert is also known as Thar Desert, which lies in the northwest part of India, that is in Rajasthan. It is a dry, unfertile, sandy region covering a vast area. So let us know about what do you mean by spaceship, or which is called a desert ship, and what is a ship in the water. What do you find difference in between three terms: spaceship, desert ship, and ship in the water? A spaceship is used to travel in space, but a desert ship it is used to travel in desert. So what may be the example of a desert ship? Which animal is used as a desert ship? Yes, it is, that is camel. And last one is ship in the water. So in water we use boats and ships to travel. So these are the differences between these three terms. And children, have you ever observed water in desert areas? Maybe you didn't have seen desert. Now in this picture I'm showing you water present in the desert. What is this area called as? That is nothing but as oasis. So this is called as oasis. Generally we don't find water in the deserts. Only somewhere they will be present. Like this. This is known as oasis. Next we go for another landform. Yes, children, what is you're seeing in this picture? So it is a ocean. How can you define a ocean? A ocean is a large body of salt water. So, do you find any oceans near us? So, in the world itself, we are having five oceans. Among that, one is the largest Pacific Ocean. Next is Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, which acts as the boundary of our India and its south. And next ocean is Antarctic Ocean, which is a very smaller ocean. And last one is Southern or southern or Antarctic Ocean. And smallest ocean is not Antarctic, but it is a Arctic Ocean. So these are the five oceans you're having. Next, we move for another water body, that is sea. What do you mean by sea? Sea is generally a part of the ocean and it is partially surrounded by land. When you compare to ocean, sea is smaller one. Ocean is a large water body. Sea is a small water body, and that too, in what one side of it is having land. There are many seas such as Arabian Sea, which is acting as the boundary of our India and its west side. Next, like Black Sea, Dead Sea, Mediterranean Sea, like that. Next, we go for another landform, that is coast. What do you mean by coast? Coast is the area where an ocean or a sea touches the land. India has a very long coastal line because of Bay of Bengal in its east side, Arabian Sea in its west side, which is also called as East Coast and West Coast. These are the coastal lines of India. Next, we move for another landform, that is Gulf. What do you mean by Gulf? Gulf is a body of water, or it is a water body, and it is almost completely surrounded by land with a very narrow mouth with water. So, what is a Gulf? Gulf is a body of water almost completely surrounded by land with a very narrow mouth. Next, can you give some of the examples of Gulf? That is Gulf of Mannar, Gulf of Kutch, Gulf, Gulf of Khamban. Okay, these are some of the examples of Gulf. Next, we move for another landform. What you are seeing here in this picture, that is nothing but bay. How can you define a bay? Bay is a water body enclosed by land from three sides with a wider opening. In other words, the Gulf is a deep inlet of the sea, whereas a bay is a broad inlet of the sea, we can say. What are the examples of bay? Yes, it is Bay of Bengal, Back Bay, and Mumbai. These are some of the examples of bay. Next, we move for lagoon. Children, you're seeing here lagoon. How can we define this lagoon? A lagoon is a shallow body of salt water and very close to the sea, separated by a narrow strip of land. So it is nothing but a lagoon. Okay, children. Next, move for another landform. What is this? Lake. How can you define a lake? A lake is a large body of water and which is enclosed by, or it is surrounded by, on all its sides with land. So, can you name some of the examples of lake? Yes, they are Sambar Lake, Chilka Lake, Pulicat Lake, Kolleru Lake, and go on. Now, next we go for another. There is a river. How can you define a river? A river is a large natural stream of fresh water flowing on land towards an ocean or maybe towards a sea or a lake or any another river. India is called the land of rivers. Himalayas are the source of many rivers such as Indus, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra. And if you see, these are called as snow-fed rivers, and these snow-fed rivers are also called as perennial rivers. Now, if we see what are the other major rivers, means Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Penna, they flow from western side to the eastern side, that too into the Bay of Bengal. Only two rivers are there. They flow from eastern side to the west, that is into the Arabian Sea. What are those two rivers? They are nothing but Narmada and Tapati. So these two rivers flow from east to west into the Arabian Sea. And these rivers are called as rain fed. Whenever there are rains, at that time only these flow, so they are known as rain fed rivers. Can you name what is the longest river in India, children? So everyone know in our India the longest river is the Ganges, that is the Ganga river. Next we move for another landform. What you are seeing here, children? Yes, you know it is a waterfall. How can you define a waterfall? A waterfall is a place where water flows over a vertical drop in the course of a stream or river. Can you give examples of waterfalls? Yes, Dudhsagar waterfall, Jag waterfalls, Telakona waterfalls, Chitrakoot waterfalls. These are some of the waterfalls in our India. So, children, in next session, we will continue the other landforms and we complete in the next session our first lesson, that is our country. Up to that, be well, study well. Allah Hafiz.